Hello and welcome to Delta Sparks Pod. I am Evan. This is
Andie. Hi. Pop, 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 pop.
false.
No, yes. No, that's my name.
Dewey Pop Pop Supreme, aka Andrea, as we learned from our last episode.
Yeah, that's what most people in like my real life call me.
In your real life,
In
not
my
in your
real life.
imaginary world.
Not my online imaginary world of fun.
In my imaginary world, people call me Constantinople.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
I respect that.
I don't know why, they just do. Oh man. So last week was fun.
Connie.
Oh, it's actually Kant. Hi, I can't. Funny story, real quick. I was once on a date with this girl. Going back to like bad first dates or bad date stories, I guess I forgot about this one. It's hard to answer some stuff on the spot sometimes.
I know.
I know. Everyone's favorite Canadian grandmother.
It's
I know.
Me.
This girl is really annoying, and then she's like, "So, what's your sign?" And I just said, "Stop."
That reminds me, I saw like a little video. I don't even know what it was from. It's from like The Bachelor or something. And the girl walks up and she's like, "Hi, like whatever." And she's like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "I'm an astrophysicist." And she's like, "That's cool. I'm a Gemini." I died.
Jesus Christ. I really just want to, from now on, like when I meet people for the first time, be like, "So what do you do?" And they're like, "Yeah, I do so and so." Like, "What do you do?" "I'm Cancer." Even though it's not my sign, but that would just be more fun.
No, we're Sagittarius, right? What?
I'm not a Sag. I am just after the cutoff. So technically you and me, because you're a week before me, I'm a Capricorn. The 22nd is when the horns come out.
That's right.
That's why I'm so horny.
That's what it is.
Yeah. I have a t-shirt somewhere that my brother's ex made me for my birthday one year, because one year it was my 25th birthday and my whole family was fighting with each other. I wasn't involved at all somehow. And I spent the day at the car dealership because the day before my car key broke off in the ignition.
Oh, that's not what you want.
So I spent the whole day, it was raining, I remember, at the dealership waiting for them to try to get the piece out of the ignition, and then for them to say, "Well, we can't make you a new key, so we have to put a whole new thing in." And I was like, "Great."
Lock, whatever.
So my brother, my sister, and their boyfriends and girlfriends at the time, my brother's girlfriend and my sister's boyfriend, not like my brother and sister. And then, this is...
that's where my brain went.
Listen, Andie, I live in New Jersey, not Utah. Okay, we're in the Northeast, not the Middle East.
Sorry, Chad.
And we were talking about, like, I don't remember how we got onto it, but it was like signs, and I was like, "I think I'm a Capricorn." So they looked it up, and they were like, "Yeah, you are." And I was like, "What is that?" And they're like, "You're a mountain goat." And like they were reading off the characteristics of it, which, by the way, I don't believe in that stuff, because I've had like a few people like force me to give me their readings of my aura, and I was like, "Well, while you're back there, could you let me know how my prostate is?"
And Evan, like, first of all, when they were checking your aura, was that hands-on? Because you might need to talk to an adult if that was.
It was actually my dentist.
Now cough.
He was very oral about it. I don't really believe in that stuff, like the readings, or like the your horoscope for the day, because I feel like it's so general. It's like it's like those guys who used to be able to, like, remember the TV shows where people were like, "I can speak to spirits," and like, "Is there somebody here?" Yeah. "Is there somebody in the room?" Like they have like 100 people. "Is there somebody in the room who has a relative that died? Their first name starts with the letter
J."
D. Yeah. J. Oh, me. My great uncle Harold, but we called him JJ. Like, what the fuck, Karen?
Karen.
But one of the characteristics of a Capricorn apparently is methodical, which I liked. So I have a shirt somewhere that says, I'm a motherfucking methodical mountain goat.
I like that.
I feel like that really needed to be a Speedo, but, you know.
It's not
To anyone listening who wants to make me a Speedo that says, I'm a fucking mountain goat. I don't know why my brain is so dirty. I thought, well, they eat anything. And it was like, yeah, it will. Oh,
tin can.
Someone's been eating a lot of fish. You can taste the mercury. Oh, man.
So, Ev, how was your week? Okay, wait. So we are now on episode 17.
17, yeah. I forgot to turn my fan on. Okay. It's really hot in here. Let me know if you can hear this.
Look at that.
Can you hear it?
Are you putting it in your undercarriage?
I am completely pantsless.
Okay, the only way that I know that
I'm
fan
full
is
on. I'm full on Porky Pigging it right now. Give it a get, go fuck yourself.
Your new Clyde flag is waving behind you.
Uh-oh. Maybe I should tilt this down a little.
That's the only indication I have that you have a fan on. Nope, that's worse.
I did more. If I just,
there you go.
I wish I had a t-shirt on, so this whole episode I was just like, I need to pump you up.
One, not so tall and skinny.
But you can't hear it, right?
No, not at all.
I know the last episode I got a little
you
loud.
You got like one with nature. So yeah, we're coming off of episode 16, Delta Spouses.
Yeah.
Which
Delta Spouse Pod, Delta Spark Spouse, DSS, DSPSS, PSD.
PTSD.
Definitely after that episode.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was fun. It was, I think it was a really cool experience to be able to, for both of us, like sit with our partners, and like hear their view on things. Cause like, although like me and my wife have talked about like her likes and dislikes of, you know, the social media and the podcasting and stuff. Not that she has an issue with what I'm doing, but like the time constraints and this, that, and the other thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it was nice to get to actually include them in the experience. And I hope that it maybe opened their eyes to like why this is so, I don't know the word.
Fun for us?
Yeah, why it's so much fun, why we put in so much effort, like, you know, especially with all the editing and shit. And I don't want to get into that. But,
yeah, thanks for doing that, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry, Kim, it was a few hours late.
It was really good. I thought it was nice to have them involved, and it was a nice like change of pace for what we usually do for our episodes. Yeah. So, which was kind of fun. That's the first time I've podcasted with another person with me, so it's very distracting.
Yeah, you're like,
I was like listening for his response, but then I'm like, I'm also like on camera.
Yeah, like I'm on camera. So yeah, anybody out there, anybody out there, we always, and we're serious, please send us some feedback. Listen, you can go to the website, and at the bottom there's like a blurb thing for stickers. You can also just put it in there like, your show fucking sucks.
No, please don't put that because we're very sensitive.
All right, your show sucks.
Better.
But give us some feedback. Let us know what you like. What
I actually
you're liking,
did get
what
some
you're not
good.
liking.
I did get some good feedback from it.
Oh yeah?
I did.
Thanks for sharing that with me.
That's right. I have to make you work for it a little bit.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. So my week has been hot.
Yeah, you said it's like 91 yesterday, I think.
It was almost 94 yesterday.
Okay, now, do you happen to know what that is in Canadian?
God. You got a phone too.
I'm gonna guess that's 37. That's my guess.
37?
Yes.
It's 34.4.
Okay, so not as hot as in my brain, but still gross.
Yeah, I feel like things are never like in terms of like math or distance.
True.
Yeah.
Geography. Sometimes arithmetic.
Yeah, seriously.
Which is also
like,
math.
Where's the closest ocean? Where's the Middle East?
I can tell you about Canada.
No, apparently you can't, because apparently you live 2 days from the ocean.
That is under ocean geography, not Canadian geography. Moving on. How was your week?
My week was okay. Today was a bit of a fucking shit show. So I had a really good talk with my project manager yesterday. I've been with this company coming up on a year, and I told him, I was like, listen, I interviewed for a much higher position.
Sorry, hold on. So a project manager for you, is that kind of like your boss?
It is one of my bosses. So
okay.
So the owner of the company, this is my company, the owner of the company, right? Then there's the vice president, right? He's like the day-to-day operations.
Yeah.
Then there's 2 project managers that oversee multiple jobs.
Okay.
The jobs are run by the foreman.
Okay, got it.
And
then yeah.
So, we had a good conversation. I was like, listen, I've run work for a long time. I interviewed as a foreman. I understand I got to work here for a bit. I got to prove my skills. I think I've done that to a certain degree. I know my area of expertise isn't the code, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better with it, and I'm not afraid to look up stuff. I have a code book or to ask questions. I was like, if there's any smaller projects coming up, because we've been doing like huge, like multi-million-dollar electrical projects. So if there's any small like office fit outs that I can take a helper or 2 or apprentice or 2 and like a couple weeks worth of work that I can prove myself on, I'd appreciate it. And he was like, absolutely. Because I'll run it up the chain, yada, yada, yada. So I'm on this job right now, and I was here over the winter, and then I got put somewhere else for a while, and now I'm back. And over the winter, the guy who's running this job, there's about 6 buildings in this area. They build server racks, like fully functioning server racks. And we're building test sites for them because they have to like run for a certain amount of time without overheating or exploding or whatever.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
They have like a point person in my company who's like, he's a foreman, but he runs all of their work, anything that needs to get done, whether it's a huge project or whether it's like, hey, we need to add an outlet somewhere. Okay.
For this particular company.
For this particular company.
That your electrical company is doing work for.
Right. He works for my company.
Yeah.
He's basically the person for the company we're working for.
Got it. Okay.
He lives at this place. He never goes anywhere else.
Okay.
So he's really hard to get along with at times. He's very aggressive, belittling, arrogant and egotistical to the fullest. And like, as long as it's not at me or coming towards me, like I can pretty much let a lot slide. And
yeah, you're pretty chill. Although I try to be at work.
I mean, listen, I get heated like everyone, in the heat of the moment. In the heat of the moment. But like, I'm never nasty to anyone directly.
No.
And if I snap or like I bark at somebody and it's not like warranted because they haven't been pushing my buttons, then I'll apologize. But over the winter when I was here, this guy, I was talking to my dad about it. He goes, I think the best word to use is now I can't remember the word, of course.
Is it Segui?
No, it wasn't Segui. Adversarial.
Okay.
He treats me like I'm an adversary, like I'm the enemy.
Yeah.
And over, like I said, a couple months ago, we got into something where he gave me some instructions. I misunderstood him. And then he called me a liar. I was told to like go from one building to another, but at a certain time, and I misunderstood it. And he also has an accent, so sometimes it's a little hard to handle, and he doesn't like to repeat himself. Mm-hmm. So I went over to the other building. I called him. I was like, he didn't answer. I left him a message. Hey, I'm over at the other building. I'm just going to go sign in because you have to sign in to get into these places, and I'll wait for you. Yeah. And he calls me and he's like, where the fuck are you? I didn't fucking tell you to go there. And I'm like, well, not for nothing, but I was at the other building in front of people, just standing around with my dick in my hand, and I felt like a fucking asshole. And then he's like, why are you cursing at me? Who the fuck do you think you are cursing at me? Right?
Yeah.
And then my project manager got involved because the foreman was still on his way.
Mhm.
And he called the project manager, and the project manager called me, and I tried to explain. I'm like, I misunderstood. It's a simple mistake.
Yeah.
And then he shows up and not basically, exactly gets in my face and threatens to like punch me in the face and like fight me and put me in the, he said, I'll put you in the fucking hospital. And
I feel like that would take a lot for you too. Like, you're not a small dude.
no, I'm scrappy. I don't fight fair. I bite.
I'm scrappy.
I'll bite your neck. And if you get a good hold of me, I don't mind throwing the thumb around and just whoop right up your pooper. You get a fucking, you want to release something? Stick your finger in its butt. It works for assholes and pit bulls.
I will keep that in mind.
Yep. Next time Adam gives you from one of those like nice little Sunday morning from behind hugs while you're like making breakfast, just go whoop.
That'll learn him. He'll never hug me again.
I got past it. Apparently so did he, I thought. And we moved on. I guess into another job like a week after that for like a month or two. And I've been back for like about a month now at this other job, and things were going well. I'm the last one. I'm doing all like the punch list stuff on this end of this big project. Punch list. It's like the last little things that need to get fixed or added or that got missed.
Yep.
And you know, we would take lunch every day, like all of us, because there was about 15 or 20 of us on the job at one point on this specific building on this project. And there's a cafeteria next door. So at 11, we'd all walk out, we go over, we sit down, we eat. And we wouldn't clock out because we didn't take morning break. We didn't take afternoon break. We'd eat for about 20 minutes and then we head back. So 11 o'clock rolls around. I've been by myself. I've been working, but I keep getting pulled off by him, by the foreman, to do other small little projects over here or over there.
Man, isn't that
11 o'clock? It is, because then I have to stop what I'm doing, retool, get organized, get material together.
Yeah.
So 11 o'clock, I go through security to get out. I hit the bathroom because the coffee was going through me and I had to poop. I walk over, I order a sandwich, I sit down for 15, 20 minutes, maybe like 23 minutes, right? In terms of ordering and eating.
Yeah.
I walk back over. I walk in, my project manager's there talking to a rep from one of our supply houses. I get some material together, I put on the lift, and I remember there's other material in the back I need, so I walk all the way around, get the material together, come back, and then the foreman's standing there. He just comes at me. Where the fuck were you? I was like, I took break, and then I came to was putting material together. Who do you think you are taking a 30-minute break, huh? I'm like, I didn't take a 30-minute break. He goes, don't fucking lie to me. I've been here for 45 minutes. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. And I just explained the same thing. Left at 11, hit the bathroom, went and ate, came back, walked in, then went around to the back to pick up material, and then I saw you. So he's just coming at me.
Yeah.
Really aggressively, calling me a liar, telling me I'm a piece of shit. And then he's like, from now on, you got to clock out every day for a half an hour. I don't care what anybody else does. Like adversarial, right? Like coming at me like he's trying to hurt me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever, dude, fine. Like, I'll just leave it alone. And then he goes, this is all you gotten done? I could have so-and-so, who's like our lowest fucking apprentice. I could have had him do this. He would have been done hours ago.
Wow.
At that point, he walked away on a phone call. I just packed up my tools and put them in I walked out of the building, put them in my car, and I left. I clocked out and I left. I also took 15 minutes off of my time for the day.
Yeah.
Then I text my project manager. Just clocked out. I'm going home. Send me to another job site tomorrow, or I'll just take the day off. I will not work under so-and-so ever again. If that doesn't work for the company and this means it costs me my job, then so be it. My fighting days are done.
Physically fighting.
On a job site, yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody comes into my house or someone attacks my family or someone attacks me physically, I won't be the one to allow myself to cross that line first ever.
Don't throw the first punch, right?
Right.
Don't start a fight, but you
finish
can finish it.
Yes, exactly.
Ah, we're like twins.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Oh my God. So that to me sounds like a very wise decision that you removed yourself from the situation before things escalated. And
It was
then
either, yeah.
and
You know
I'm
that
saying
feeling,
this is good.
Yeah. You know that feeling like where you like, I'm so enraged, I'm either going to throw up or I'm going to throw a punch.
I have felt that feeling probably 3, maybe 4 times in my life.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling.
No, it's not. So I'm proud of you for doing that.
I wasn't sure if I should have left or I should have just waited and talked to my project manager. But honestly, I know myself well enough to know that I was in a headspace where I wouldn't have been able to shake it if I stayed.
Right. And at that point, like for me, I know I would be, if there's people walking past who are looking at you and they're like, oh, there's a confrontation, that gets me more fired up.
Oh,
if I'm
man.
standing there thinking about it, what did he just say to me? That gets me more fired up.
I drove home in complete silence.
No,
I mean, the windows were down because my AC still isn't fixed in my car, but I was just, I was in it. You know what I mean?
I can picture you like hunched over your steering wheel, just like chain smoking out the window.
That's how I used to be. I was more of like just, I wasn't even so much mad as I was hurt. Like,
yeah. Well, it's unjustified is a big part of it.
It's unjustified. And like, so part of like how I used to be with my addiction was I was a liar.
Yeah.
I lied as easily as I breathed. Okay. If I was going to Starbucks and you asked where I was going, I would tell you Dunkin' Donuts, just for no apparent reason, right?
Yeah.
So being called a liar is it hits me here, it hits me in my stomach. My integrity is important to me.
Like that to me, it sounds like that particular branding that he's putting on you of being a liar attacks the character that you've been working so hard to make do good. I was so close. I was so close to stringing together a smart sentence there. I was so close. Good God.
But you know, it really comes down to,
I will say I myself have had situations where I was fuming at work. Like there's one instance in particular that I'm thinking of, and I was just fuming. And it was one of those things where, like, normally I'm very happy, I'm bubbly, I'm saying hi to everybody,
toxic
right?
Positivity, we know.
Toxic positivity, especially on site, because a lot of the guys are usually pretty grumpy there, but they'll say hi to me, whatever. So this was one of those times where you'd enter the room that I was working in and you could feel the get the fuck away from me vibes just coming off of me.
People just walked in and were like, Mercury?
I'll go fuck yourself. But so it was one of those things that at that moment, I just needed to be alone and I needed to just kind of put my head down and not talk to anybody. It's funny that you say that you left work because that to me is such a smart option to an extent, but didn't even cross my mind to remove myself from the situation.
I have to, because I don't know if it's just how I'm wired or if it has something to do with my addiction, like my mental illness, because that's what it is. Like, I struggle so hard at letting things go.
Yeah.
And then I struggle even harder in the aftermath of, did I do the right thing? Should I have yelled back? Should I have fucking knocked his ass out? Should I have just stepped outside and waited for my project manager to finish having this conversation? You know, and there were so many ifs, but at the end of the day, I know I did the right thing because I'm not letting it consume me fully anymore.
So, question on this note. Do you think the fact that he is somebody who is in a position of power, like above you, because you said he was a foreman, so he's one of your bosses, if I understood correctly, right?
Kinda.
Yeah. Like, does that make any difference for you versus if it, does that make any difference in your reaction and how you deal with it for you than if it had been a peer?
Okay, so I'll be completely honest. If it was a true peer, I don't know how I would have reacted.
Yeah.
If it was a true peer, they wouldn't have talked to me that way.
Right. Hopefully.
Right? Probably not, because we're all in the same boat.
Right.
Right? And if it was an apprentice, they definitely wouldn't have talked to me that way. Because I've had apprentices get mouthy with me and I bark at them and I put them in their place real quick.
Right.
But then I go to them and I'm like, listen, you talk to people a certain way, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Kitty got claws.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Thank you. I don't care who the fuck it is.
Okay.
I went grocery shopping because my wife needed things. My project manager called me while I was grocery shopping, and he told me that he didn't see my text until after he finished his conversation with the guy, and the foreman came up to him and went, I think Evan left. And the project manager was like, what? And my project manager told me what the other guy said.
Was it truthful?
No.
Of course.
He said that he just came up to me and asked me why I took such a long break. And I said to my project manager, we'll call him Mike.
Okay.
I said, Mike, if he thinks that he was just asking me a question, then we have a bigger issue. Then he has a much bigger issue than what went down. Because if that's how he thinks he's coming off, homie's got to fucking disconnect hard. Right? Like, something's not fucking wired right. And I said to him, we talked about this yesterday in that conversation we had. I said, he's a really rough guy. You know, he's got a cultural difference as well. And I was like, 99% of the time I can let shit go. I can just whatever, get back to doing what I'm doing. But I go, at some point, everybody has their breaking point.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. And I hit my breaking point. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it was either I was going to throw a punch or I was going to leave. And I go, alternatives, me leaving, not escalating.
Yeah.
Taking myself out of the equation.
Love it.
Me throwing a punch, us both ending up in cuffs or the hospital or both. And he's like, well, I wasn't actually there, even though he was like 15 feet away from us.
Right.
But it's a loud place. He's like, I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. So I'm not taking sides.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fine. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, and I told him the story I told you and the story I just told now, you know, I told him at the end of the day, I won't be treated like that. I won't be spoken to like that. And here's what I said to him. I go, Mike, if we were in a different industry, if we were in an office, months ago, there would have been an HR grievance for him threatening physical violence towards me.
Yeah.
Right? Second, this time, there would have been another grievance, probably followed up by a lawsuit because the company did not take steps to stop this. And it's harassment because he doesn't do this with everyone.
Right.
Right? Like I feel, and I'm not trying to play the poor me or the pity card, but I feel like, again, adversarially, he's coming at me specifically.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, it won't fly, Mike. So I was like, send me to another job tomorrow, or I'll take the day off. And if the office has an issue with me saying that and they want to let me go, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I've done all that I can.
Yeah, at this point.
You know?
Okay. So I think those are very wise decisions and wise conversations that you had. what, for our three darling listeners, would you say
three
are...
now.
I know. We're getting pretty huge. It's no big deal. What would you say are some other techniques that you've used to de-escalate situations? Like, I know what I do, but it's not the most healthy because I stew.
To de-escalate the actual situation?
Yeah. Or even to, yeah, let's start with that.
So I have found that lying through your teeth, apologizing, just apologize for whatever they're upset about. You know the truth. Yeah. End of story. 2, throw a punch. You know, a really great line that I learned a long time ago is, "I'm sorry you feel that way."
Yeah, that's a good one.
And 3,
as a Canadian, I very much appreciate the apology that worked its way into that. I'm here for that.
3, it's just to say, listen, if you don't like it, go talk to somebody about it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And just, again, a lot of these have you removing yourself from the situation, you know, because if you don't, it's just going to continue to spark at each other.
Right.
But I mean, how have you dealt with situations like you talked about with like people getting a little out of line? You know, those types of confrontations.
So those kind of confrontations.
It does have a conversational aspect to it.
So we've talked in previous episodes about the sexual harassment that I faced on site. And I'd have to say those have been some of my most traumatic confrontations that I have had. And generally for me, I don't even know if I would classify it as a confrontation because I kind of just shut down. Like, it's one of those things where...
Well, you were confronted with something.
Okay, true.
Or by somebody.
This is true. So it's one of those things that I would like to think, so I have not witnessed it, but I would like to think that if I witnessed it happening to someone else, another woman or man, if I witnessed that same kind of harassment that I had experienced, that I would step in and I would say something because I know how it feels. Nobody should be feeling like that. When what happens to me, part of it is I'm in utter shock that somebody would even come to me with that, like, unnecessary. We're in a workplace. Like, part of it is shock. Part of it is wanting to just get out of the situation. So you don't want to say anything to take it any further. So I kind of just like shrink into myself and like, is it over yet? So, and then afterwards.
Which is a common reaction to a traumatic experience.
Right. And speaking of common traumatic, I guess, reactions, is my first couple times I didn't talk about it with anybody. The first few times it happened, I mentioned it to someone that I was uncomfortable. And then I had actually somebody, like I said before, reach out to me on Instagram that they had actually experienced something with the same person. And I was like, you know what? Like, this needs to be talked about, because if he's going to do this to the next person and the next person and the next person, the next woman, say it's like a 18-year-old girl coming on site for the first time.
Right.
If something were to happen, I would never... Was
this the guy who was coming in drunk?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, it wasn't even so much as standing up for myself, but standing up for kind of the future women who potentially would be coming in, who might not be able to handle it, who won't take like the joking aspect of it, who doesn't know that, like,
well, it's hard to differentiate the difference between a joke and a catcall.
Big time.
And I think it really, the only way to like figure out what it is by the person receiving it. It's like that's who defines what it is.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. So it comes down to like their comfort level. And yeah. Sorry,
and I mean,
what were you gonna say?
Everything's in the eye of the beholder, right? Like I said before, like if he thought he was just asking me a question, boy, is he fucking off, right? And I think we've talked about this as well, as like when arguing with your partner or like, blah, 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 sometimes we hear the things they say we receive it differently than they may think that it's coming out of their mouth holes.
Right.
But just let's just put a blanket statement out there. I should give a little context to this maybe. So this week, there was a video posted of snippets from a podcast, and we're not going to get into the nitty gritty of who, what, where, when, and how, or why. It's a lot of W's, and a lot of H's.
Just one, but yeah. Please continue.
There's a W and how.
Do you mean what?
Who?
Keep going. Keep going.
What, where, when, and why. There was a video posted on Instagram, snippets of a podcast where some guys were joking about catcalling, right? Now, whether they were joking or whether they were making it seem like they were joking, and those were their real feelings or their real thoughts, masked as humor. We here at Delta Sparks are all about the LOLs, right? The laughing out louds.
We frequently do that.
We're just like, but like we said, what you say or how you say things can be perceived differently to the person receiving them. And I'll speak to guys because I can speak to guys. If you do anything that could even remotely resemble catcalling, fucking stop.
Yes.
Like,
please.
Who made you think you're God's gift? Like who made you think you're Jesus's penis here to resurrect the female orgasm? Like, for fuck's sake. Like, it's not okay.
No, it is absolutely not okay.
All you're doing is potentially causing trauma and pain for somebody you don't even know.
No.
And if you have to think about it like this, if you ever had a daughter, or if you have a daughter, and they were catcalled, how would you feel?
It's not even so much that you have to put it into the context of them having daughters. Women are people too.
Yes.
Like, I know. So I was having a discussion with somebody about this particular clip, and he says to me, well, the way things are going, it's going to be women catcalling men soon. And I said, okay, maybe that's the case. Does that make you uncomfortable? And he says, well, no, I think I kind of like it. And I said, that's the difference.
Yeah.
Because I'm at work. I'm not there to be catcalled. If I'm going and looking for somebody to hit on me or whatever, like, obviously I'm not. But
you're going to go in your kitchen.
Yeah, good God. Gets out of hand in there sometimes. No, but like, that's not what I'm there for at work. Right. Like, if you're at a bar not even work. Catcalling is just not acceptable, period.
If you think somebody is attractive and you'd like to fucking make an introduction, get creative. Don't go, like, I can't whistle, but
I can. Yeah, that was bad.
Don't go, hey, nice jugs.
Hey, do those legs go all the way up?
If you have to yell it, or you're doing it in front of a group of other people,
that is my
fucking
nightmare.
Wrong.
That is my nightmare.
And on the flip side, well, what if guys started getting catcalled? Well, what if you were the one not getting catcalled? Okay? Some people aren't built the same type of property that other people are built with. Okay? Yeah. Some of us don't have a backyard. Okay?
Some of us have too much backyard.
Yeah. But at the end of the day,
to me, it comes down to the level of respect that we should be showing each other. So what really bothers me about that clip was that these guys were getting upset that now they were in trouble, so to speak, for this utter lack of respect and for making women feel uncomfortable, and now they're upset that they can't do that anymore.
They were like, oh, well, you know, the times are changing. Yeah, we no longer fucking ride horse and buggy everywhere. Like, welcome to 2020. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ. You can wash your laundry and your dishes in the same day, and you don't have to fucking hobble down to the creek. Jesus. I don't know why I keep saying Jesus. I'm sorry if you are a religious person, but then again, very ish. I'm really not. I'm circumcised, and I eat bacon and grilled cheeses. So that's a contradiction. I'm tattooed. But you know,
okay. So
if you don't like what the times are, end of story. If you don't like where the times are going, fucking deal with it. Or just better yet, keep it inside, keep it all bottled up, and then just go fucking home and feverishly jerk off to, I don't know, Lifetime magazine or something. I don't fucking know. Just stop being a fucking prick. Stop being an asshole. So
I agree.
On the subject of assholes, I don't know. Maybe this is a good time for a little tip. Just a tip.
Look at that Segui. On the subject of assholes, just the tip. Wow. Just all right. Tip. All right. I can do
Unless they like it.
Okay, you go first.
Just a tip. Don't be a fucking asshole.
That feels like cheating.
Just
I'll give it to you.
Don't cheat. No. Here, seriously, just a tip. Know your boundaries or know your limits.
Yeah.
And don't allow other people to dictate your actions.
I like that.
Okay? Just because someone pushes you to the point does not mean you need to react.
Yes.
Take a second. Take a second. And then take an action based off of how you're feeling. There's a difference. Okay?
I like it.
What's your tip?
Okay, just the tip. I was talking to Alex today, Alex Camo, and he told me that for break, this is going to be mostly for Canadians, but this is going to be like a shameless Tim Hortons plug, that for break, he always gets an iced cappuccino.
Oh, someone's fancy.
Yeah.
Can you make my iced cappuccino extra dry?
No, we're going to go in a different direction. I want you guys to try an iced cappuccino with chocolate milk. Make it with chocolate milk instead of cream. Oh my God, it's so good. That's my tip. That's my tip for today.
Okay, sorry. First off, how do you make an iced cappuccino? Because a cappuccino is, I'm just saying, do you know what a cappuccino is? Andie?
A little ASMR.
Do you know what a cappuccino is?
I know it's coffee based.
So, do you know what the difference between a cappuccino and a latte is?
Latte. No, I don't know.
Okay. So, a latte is espresso.
You're ruining my tip.
I'm making your tip better.
You're enhancing my tip?
Enhancing the tip. Just shaping it a little bit more like a fire helmet. Pull back the turtleneck, and there you go.
It's so cold.
Oh God. So a latte is espresso base with steamed milk and a little bit of foam at top. Basically, like a 2/3 steamed milk to a 1/3 foam.
Okay.
A cappuccino is 2/3 foam, 1/3 steamed milk.
Okay.
So unless you have foam on it, it's not a cappuccino. I'm sorry. Well, but what you can do, which is what you're describing, I worked for Starbucks for 3 months when I was still active. I never made a single drink because they wouldn't.
Was it Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts?
It was Starbucks. Because I had to go, welcome to Starbucks, home of the Starbucks. Can I take your order? No, it's not true. I just remember those awful, ugly green schmucks and me doing whippets in the back.
Oh my
God. So basically what you're describing is an iced mocha latte.
Okay, I don't care. They call it an ice cap. Try it with chocolate milk instead of cream. Everybody, okay. That's my tip.
That's her tip, and she's sticking to it.
Yeah. Don't confuse me with your facts and logic, Evan. I've made up my mind.
Yeah, it's science. Women's brains are a third the size of men's. It's science. It's a joke.
I almost just drew it myself with pen.
Thank you for making my point for me. Oh, what does this thing do? This episode of Delta Sparks Pod is sponsored by Chuckstar Leather Goods. Chuckstar Leather makes the ultimate upgrade for your hard hat. Chuckstar is a small family-owned company that designs, tests, and produces its signature Chuck Band elk leather headgear upgrade in Southern California. Their materials and supplies are sourced exclusively from specialty vendors throughout the United States. Chuckstar Leather Goods believes in creating American jobs and supporting the American worker. Stand out, look great, be comfortable. Chuckstar, your new standard. All right, Andie, we did the tip. Should we give a little hint of some upcoming guests? Get people a little aroused. Tickle their inner ear. By the way, I don't know, totally random. I had the biggest ball of earwax fall out of my ear while driving 90 miles an hour to work the other day. I'm so upset.
Did you think it was your brain falling out?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I kind of wanted this. I couldn't find it. I kind of wanted to see how big it was.
That's gross to me.
I mean, you know how like when you have a pimple and you think it feels like a mountain, but it's really like a teeny tiny little red bump.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing. I wonder. No. Okay, never mind. We're not gonna go down that road.
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
So some guests we have coming up.
Yeah, we have some pretty exciting guests coming up.
If you're watching, you can see the handle design of this torque set screwdriver. We are having one of the people who run Weira Tools North America. If you're on Instagram and you've ever responded or commented or messaged Weira Tools NA, you've probably been corresponding and interacting with the person we're having come on the pod in about 2-3 weeks, I think.
Give or take,
His name is Jamie with a J, and I don't think he's German.
I don't think so. Maybe.
I don't think so.
We'll find out. Listen to the episode.
Who's the other guest? I think that's coming on next week.
Well, there's always something to do, Ev.
Well, there's always something to do. Is that good? No?
Not really, but I'll give it to you.
Next week's probably going to be our one and only G-rated episode. So
it is
fucking get ready.
It's going to be really hard for Evan, and I'm very excited to see how this goes.
Oh, God. That just reminded me when you're like, it's going to be really hard for Evan.
Oh, God.
You remember the episode of The Office where Michael Scott gets in trouble for making an inappropriate comment?
Yes.
And he comes out into the office. He's like, I have an announcement to make. In front of Jan Levinson Gould at the time, and the corporate lawyer. He's like, I can no longer be your friend. I can no longer make jokes. And Jim's sitting there and he goes, you really sure you can keep that up all day? Man, you always left me satisfied. And he said something else, and then he's just like, that's what she said. That's what she said. I feel like that's what you're going to be doing to me the entire episode, is throwing me softballs.
Yeah. And
I just got to sit there.
Yeah.
Basically, next episode, I'm going to be sitting here mute.
Yeah,
and just
Evan's not going to do much talking at all. So, for those of you who don't know what's going on, we will have Leroy from Leroy and Leroy will be coming.
We tried to get both Leroys, but apparently one of the Leroys is busy.
Well, he's Leroy behind the camera, so he's shy.
Yeah, he's the silent Bob of Leroy.
That's right. Doesn't work so well for podcasting. But yes, so those are our next couple guests that we've got coming up.
Yeah.
And then you have to listen to the two of us in between.
Yeah. And
that's
before suck dicks. How about a quickie?
Yeah, let's do a quickie. Would you like to go first or second?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Loser goes first.
Okay.
Ready?
Are we doing 1 or 2 out of 3?
So we're just doing one. So rock, paper, scissors, and then shoot. So
got it. Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
God, you suck. All right.
First.
I feel like you cheated horribly, but okay.
I feel like you can't count.
I feel like you can. Okay. All right, Ev. What TV show would you like to be on?
Ooh. Oh. There's so many good ones.
I know. I'm shocked that you didn't pick the one I immediately thought you would pick.
The Office?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be cool to be on, but like I'm thinking about it like, which show would you want to live in?
See, I'm picturing you as a warehouse guy, and I think you would have a lot of fun down there.
I think you can go fuck yourself because I can do plenty of stuff on a computer. Like,
I totally know paper.
Parks and Rec, probably. I feel like that's more
that's an excellent choice.
I feel like that because that was more like zany type of humor.
Yeah.
I feel like, and it was created by the same people. So, what about you?
That's a great choice.
Definitely not.
No. I think Powerpuff Girls would have been cool, but also I really like your answer of Parks and Rec, so I'm going to piggyback on that.
Okay. If you were given the chance to change your name, what would your name be?
I had that question too.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, "Oh God, I hope he doesn't."
Because I gave you the website.
No, I just Google like stupid questions to ask your podcast host.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
So, what would the name be?
That's a good question. I don't know if I've ever really thought about it before this one.
Dewey Pop Pop.
Yeah, clearly it would be Dewey Pop Pop. I don't know. That's a hard one.
I can see you as a Danielle.
I could rock a Danny.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. No, I could. Yeah, I could be Danielle. I could do Danielle.
Or a Mitchell.
Okay, what about you?
I want to say Constantinople, but
I could see you as a Kyle.
No, honestly, I would change it to Kevin.
You know, it's really funny.
That's what everybody, when I'm like, so what's your name? Evan. I got an order for Kevin. Like, no.
My brother-in-law's name is Kyle, and he has a twin brother named Kevin. No, Jesus. My brother-in-law is Kevin. Oh my God, now I'm all confused. My brother-in-law is Kevin, and he has a twin brother named Kyle, who is also an electrician.
I'd probably, honestly, I would, I had an alter ego back in the day, so it'd probably be Sven.
Oh, mine was LT Gray.
Okay, question, go.
No, it's my turn.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. If you could turn into a woman for 24 hours, what is the first and last thing that you would do as a woman in that 24-hour period?
Play with my boobs.
I really had high hopes for you branching out from that.
No, I'd probably be...
I should have known better.
I don't know. I really don't know. First thing and last thing I would do, like in the day.
Yeah.
Be in bed. That's how I start and end every...
Yeah.
My boobs.
All right. Okay.
If you were a guy for 24 hours first... It is a lot of fun. Question. It is a lot of fun. So sometimes you get the balls
and
in there. And
standing up. Oh, that's a game changer.
Those can do that. You gotta have a wide berth.
Yeah, I know. I've tried it and I just end up peeing all over myself and not a fan.
Okay. What is the largest animal you think you could defeat with only your bare hands? Okay.
Define defeat.
Like beat. Like if they were attacking you, you put that fucker down.
Now, is that something that I can have like 2 months of training before I do this?
Today, as is.
Oh.
Like Andie, there's a bobcat.
No, not a bobcat. They're mean. And
just gotta fucking cold talk them as they're coming in.
Yeah. Can I choose a shark, but the shark's on land?
No.
Damn. Okay. We're in their territory.
Yeah.
All right, then I choose a medium-sized dog. They have teeth.
Jesus Christ.
What do you pick? Or a baby elephant. I could probably take a baby elephant.
No, they wouldn't fuck you up.
I don't know.
Um,
The big one would for sure.
yeah. I used to know a guy who would go around telling everyone he was like totally
Like me?
roided out that
Got it.
he thinks he could beat a chimpanzee, but I said I
No.
don't think so
Not a chance.
because they basically have 4 arms.
Yeah.
I don't know. An ostrich?
No, they're mean.
I know, but I think I could fuck it up.
Okay.
I think I could fuck it up.
Yeah, I stand by medium-sized dog.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we at with our numbers here?
Your question.
My question? Okay, Ev, how do you
Last
take your
one.
coffee?
Light and sweet like me.
Jesus. Weirdly, me too.
All right, last question.
All right.
If you were a fruit, what fruit would you be?
I'd like to say probably a pear. Because nope, I stand by it. I'd be a pear.
Why a pear?
A pear. Okay, so I'm not.
Because you're only ripe for 2 days.
I'm only right. You only want to be around me for 2 days in a row. I got way more backyard than top situation.
Okay.
You know how they're shaped like.
Yeah, no, I understood that. That's why I was laughing.
Okay, thank you. But like if you like get me at the right time, like it's good. I'm delicious. You know?
Mercury.
No mercury. Like I stand by that.
Okay.
What about you?
Okay.
Don't pick something weird.
Don't pick a kumquat. No. I was gonna say a kiwi.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was like, he's either gonna say banana or kiwi.
Because I'm a little furry, but I'm a little juicy and tart on the inside.
I believe it. You tart.
When I asked Em this, she said, I'd be a pineapple.
Aww.
And I was like, why? She goes, because I'm prickly on the bottom and I'm wearing a crown. And funny story.
God, I love her.
Funny story. This is how we'll wrap it up. Last July, we were like in the midst of moving and stuff, and everything was all over the place. And I bought a pineapple because I was like, we were buying like fresh cut pineapple at the grocery store. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just buy a pineapple and I'll cut it up. Well, I put it up on like a shelf.
Oh no.
Because we didn't have much kitchen space because we were in like a little tiny place. And I'm outside doing something and I come in and she's on the ground crying. And I was like, what the fuck happened? And then the pineapple's on the ground next door. Apparently her walking around, the vibration jostled the pineapple off the shelf and it caught her right here on her ankle.
Oh no.
And cut her like good. To this day, she has a discolored scar there. It's still brown.
It's like the pineapple incident. No, How I Met Your Mother?
Oh yes, sorry.
Okay.
I was like, oh my god.
You're like, I guess that is a pineapple incident, you weirdo.
Yes. I was like, you mean like the one I just told? So yeah, that's it for us here at Delta Sparks Pod. We hope we've brought you a quasi-informational, quasi-entertaining, quasi-nonsensical hour or so.
As per usual.
Your listening pleasure, we'll go with.
Yeah, I think that's an aggressive P word we could use here.
Yeah, lessons for the week.
Yeah.
Don't be adversarial. Don't be a dick. And be yourself. Be yourself. Don't be a dick.